Hey guys, this is Mr. H. I am doing question number 31 from the Algebra 2026 Algebra 1 Regents exam. This is question number 31. This is the first 4-point question. The one thing that my students usually struggle with is they know how to graph functions, but sometimes they don't know how to find the function if it's not in the standard window. So one of the things that I've tried to get them to do, and I'll see how successful they were, is whenever you are given a graph, use the the numbers that they give you to help you um, set your window. So before I even, excuse me, before I even try to enter this, I'm just going to go to menu. I'm going to go to the window, and I'm going to change the window manually. So I'm going to start at 0. And I'm going to go to 5, even though it only had 4, I'm going to do 5. Actually, it had 5. And then I'm going to tab down and I'm going to put in 0 for this. 0, actually, 0. And then I'm going to go up to 100. It goes up to 90, but I like to give myself a little bit of wiggle room. All right, so that's what the window looks like. So now I'm just going to type in the function. Remember, you can only graph x's. So I'm going to change the t's to x's. So it's going to be a negative 16 x squared. It's going to be upside down quadratic plus 32x plus 48. All right, so we press enter. That's what the graph looks like. Now, because I've changed the window, it's nice. All right, so I'm going to show you what it looks like for a lot of students who don't do this. I'm going to go back to the original window, menu 45. Now, it just looks like a couple lines going up, and they're like, a lot of times they'll get confused, like, what am I doing? Where's the quadratic? So again, use the graph paper to help you set up your window. So again, I'm going to go 0 to 5, and then I'm going to go 0 to, I keep putting in negative, 0 to 100. Press enter, and there it is again. Now, I like to see the X and Y coordinate because you need that information a lot of times. So I'm just going to do, they want the maximum height. So I'm going to do menu 6, maximum, start on the left, pull it to the right. There's the max. So this is saying um, that's going to be, it took 1 second to get to the maximum height of 64 feet. Now, they also wanted to know how long it took to hit the ground. So you would do 0. So menu 61, just come to the right, go to the left, boom, there it is, 3 zeros. So it took 3 seconds for the, what is it that we threw? We just, it took 3 seconds for the ball to hit the ground. Now, they didn't ask this question, but I'm going to do it anyway. Menu 51, and I'm going to type in 0, and it takes me to the y-intercept. So it tells me that the y-intercept, or the height of the building, is 48 feet. That's where we threw it from. It reached the max height of 64 feet and took 3 seconds to hit the ground. That's what we know, okay? That's what we know from this. So now we can go and hopefully easily answer this. So let me do a couple things real quick. Let me plot some points. So 048, 164 would be right here. 3 seconds would be down here. So we can use symmetry, and we know there's going to be a point there. And from here, you just draw the best line you can. No arrows. There you go. 164. So they said what's the maximum number of feet above the ground? So you would say 64 feet. And then how many seconds did it take to hit the ground? It took 3 seconds. That's it. That's it. This would be 2, this would be 1, this would be 1. To me, once you've done this a few times, you know it's going to be either the y-intercept, it's going to be the vertex, or the 0 that you need. So go ahead and get all 3 and then answer the questions appropriately, okay? But before you do that, use the numbers on the graph paper to help you set your window so that you have a nice, clean quadratic. This is much easier than this. This doesn't help as much. Okay, so make sure you do that. I'm going to stop and post.